97. Turn left at the traffic light, then take the first left.
I got a piece of chicken breading stuck in the back of my throat. Of course I don't make the light. Of course. Let's see if I can make that a little bit better. Nope. It's just going to be sloppy. Alright. Whatever. Hi, Dan Kiwi. Hi, River. I'm doing all right. Welcome to Oregon. And this body of water that you're going to see right in front of you here, that's the Columbia River.
Turn left on I-84 West, then take the ramp ahead.
I had to stop and get some fuel in the truck. So I had to make sure I got a little bite to eat also. Hello, Italian Princess. How are you doing?
Take the ramp ahead to I-84 West.
It's been a long trip with that truck acting up. You know, the mountains here, crossing the mountains here in Oregon, especially out in eastern Oregon, that was nerve-wracking because the truck wouldn't pull the hill any better than 12 miles an hour. So I think moving on, did a little bit of research here the other day. All the symptoms I'm having, which is what I suspected, all the symptoms I'm having is pointing directly at the EGR valves being the problem. So after I deliver my load, I got to figure out how to get out to my dad's place because he's a couple hours behind me. I still got a couple hours to go before I get where I'm going, so it's about a half day's drive to get out there and then work on my truck. Get the old EGR valves off, put the new ones on, and hope that fixes the problem. Oh, that's good. At least everybody's okay. How often do you guys have earthquakes out there, Dan? What the heck? I cleaned that area. There shouldn't be any bugs there, dang it. There. There we go. Get it off of there. All right. Had a good morning this morning. Started out, got up, got going, and I was on Brett Boyle's panel this morning for a little bit while Brett had time before somebody else went live that he happens to be a mod for. What's everybody doing today? Besides watching my pretty views. On this river. I mean, look at this river. That's a river. As opposed to the rivers on the east side of the country, this is a river. When I go to the east side of the country and I'm crossing a river, and I go on a bridge and I cross a river on the east side of the country, what they have that they call rivers over there remind me of little streams and creeks over here. Because this river, the Columbia River, this is a river. It's about a quarter mile wide right here, and the further west we go, the wider it'll get. Yeah. Hey, Mom of One, how are you? Welcome to Oregon. We're driving right alongside the Columbia River. I'm going to get you guys some spectacular views today. Well, as much as possible. I don't know how well my signal will hold out here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the day, I guess. And I better set my cruise control so I don't get myself in trouble. Let's see, that's a river. Not like what they call rivers over there in the east side of the country. I've seen pictures of the Hudson, and the Hudson does look pretty wide. But you got to admit, there are an awful lot of rivers on the east side of the country that they call rivers that don't seem like they're anything more than a stream or a creek. When you compare them to this river or the Hudson. So this is the Celilo Falls area. Celilo. If you can look up old pictures underneath the water out here, underneath that river, thanks to the dams underneath that river, there is there are some beautiful falls that are underneath that water. Yes, I'm going to be coming into the Dalles. Yep, I'm in Celilo Falls right now, headed west. I just left Biggs Junction. I had to stop and get a little bit of fuel and a little bit of chicken and some JoJo's. Why, you live in the Dalles area? I can imagine that's why you asked. Hmm. So, I mean, look at that river. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know one that goes to the left, but we're going to get a good sight of Mount Hood too. I would have been live streaming earlier, but the signal was not cooperative most of the way through the state. Oh, I'm on. I was looking at other people's live streams since I couldn't stream myself, and even at that, it would be a little bit of video for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then it would pause for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes and buffer, and then it would be like 5 to 10 seconds of video again, and then pausing and buffering again. So it was almost unwatchable today, and that was simply because of the signal I had coming through the state. Southwest Washington, oh no. What, the Vancouver area or the Camas area? Battleground? Where? Maybe. It is beautiful. Maybe I was. I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe. Believe it or not, there are an awful lot of things going on behind the scenes, and we can't really let the information out until the show begins. So trust me, people, you're going to need some popcorn. Battleground, okay, yep. So you're up there by the state fairgrounds. Matter of fact, I took my son to his first concert right there at that state fairgrounds. Stanfield is what it's called. I took him to see the Slayer concert. got him pit passes. Him and a friend and myself, we got pit passes, and we got backstage passes, and we got an hour individually with each of the different bands, and it was fun. It was a fun day. It was a very expensive day, but it was a birthday present to my son, and it was his first concert, so I really had to give him the full treatment. You know what I mean? Yeah, welcome to Oregon, Olucate. And here we go. We are going to have a great view of Mount Hood, which, by the way, still has a lot of snow on it. Coming in on the left. There. That might look a little better. Oh yeah. I'm surprised. Usually when I'm coming through, usually there's a cloud cover right on the mountain, so you can't really see the top. But today, that's just a crystal clear, beautiful sight. Yup. Yeah. There are a lot of sites in Oregon that are very impressive. Same with Washington, same with Idaho. Just about every state. Actually, every state in the country does have some very beautiful stuff to see. You just have to open your eyes, maybe even just get off the beaten path and go exploring. This country is beautiful from one end to the other. Oh damn! Oh damn! Now that's a damn. There we go. '83. That's not bad. Right now it's 92 here in the Dalles. So, uh, sad part is right now, even even if I go and get my EGR valves at my dad's, I'm still going to have to come up with an extra $600 or so, roughly, to buy all new clamps because I'm going to need four of them. I'm going to need four small ones and two big ones, and they're about $100 a piece because they're special clamps that that hold all the EGR stuff in place. And the reason is because I've had that EGR system off the truck, repairing, like the two different coolant leaks on it, twice within the last couple of months. And every time you take those clamps off and put them back on, they stretch out and don't quite hold as tight as they should. So this time, if I want to have everything done right, I need brand new clamps. That's an extra $600 that I don't have. So fun. We'll figure it out. Oh well, thank you, Italian. I mean, if anybody wants to donate, by all means, that's fine. I'm not asking for it. Never ask for it. I don't expect it. But if you do, you do. That's fine. I'm not going to say no. But, now, I'm a firm believer. If you get yourself in a situation, you can dig yourself out one way or another. It's great when people help you out, but for the most part, you got to dig yourself out of your own hole. You know what I mean? Because if you go through life with people just constantly helping you, and with every situation, then you never really learn the life lessons that you need to learn. Yep. This little town here, it's got a lot of history to it. Matter of fact, here's the old sternwheeler that goes for a price. You can go up and down. You can go up and down the river in an old school sternwheeler. It's called the American Pride, and it's this is its main home right here in the Dalles. But it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up the Columbia River as far as it can possibly go, and then it goes all the way back down to the mouth of the river down there, down there at the on the coast. Those particular trips are expensive and very rare. They only do them a few times a year, but for the most part, like on the weekends, they're going up to one dam, down to the next, back and forth here, so you can see this area, this little 100-mile stretch or so of the river. For the most part, that's what they do. But they do have that long trip that they do about 3 or 4 times a year. So back on. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, I think a lot of us are working on digging right now, digging ourselves out of our own holes. And if anybody really thought about it, the only reason we're all in these holes right now is because of this current regime we have in office, signing certain executive orders that have shut so much down, causing prices of everything to raise up. Oh yeah. I had totally forgotten about them. We still have a cult here in Oregon, out near Bend, Oregon. It's about 20-30 miles. It's about 20-30 miles east of Bend, and they're sitting out there on their own little compound commune out in the middle of the desert. They're a big one. You're not that old. We're all old. I mean, just ask any of the younger generation. Every one of us is old compared to them. They call every one of us boomers, regardless of what generation we actually grew up in. It was back in the early 80s. There was a guru, called himself a guru, moved him and his people out to a compound out here in Eastern Oregon. And they've been out there ever since, and they've been growing. From what I remember, the sovereign citizen type of people. Yeah, most of these kids today don't even know who Beavis and Butthead were. I mean, come on. And did you know that there was a new Beavis and Butthead movie just recently released, and you can find it on like Netflix and Amazon, on Amazon Prime Video? I used to love Beavis and Butthead when I was in my teens. Hey, I grew up on and the Simpsons are still being produced. So, I mean, that's one of the longest running primetime cartoon type shows, you know? And, you know, it's kind of funny how a lot of stuff that has happened over the years was actually predicted years in advance on The Simpsons. It's kind of funny how that's working out, isn't it? It's like the we're sitting there watching The Simpsons all this time and deciding, hey, that's a great idea. Let's go do that. I'll never see it coming. Yep. Weekends, Saturday nights, or it was Friday nights, I don't remember which, on MTV. That's also where Aeon Flux got its start. You know, Beavis and Butthead and Aeon Flux started on Liquid Television. Oh yeah, we all loved the Jetsons growing up. My favorite character was Astro. Yeah, and you think about it. Look at the year date that the Jetsons supposedly took place in. Look at the year date that they were supposedly living in. Where's my flying car? That's what I'd like to know. Where's my flying car? Yeah, back when MTV actually played videos instead of reality garbage. Hey, Jackie, how are you? See, I grew up on the Flintstones, the Jetsons, um, Transformers, uh, He-Man, She-Ra, Yogi Bear. Rocky and Bullwinkle. There used to be a Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High School eventually. And then there was, 321 Contact. And there was a lot of different programs that we all grew up on. Hi, Charlene. Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd. Oh, yeah. Looney Tunes. Oh, it's so sad what they've done to the Looney Tunes. Like, you can't have Yosemite Sam. You can't have Elmer Fudd. You can't have, you know, you can't have half the characters now simply because, oh my God, it's too violent. Oh my God, they have guns. You know? And when it came to the Looney Tunes, my favorite character was Marvin Martian. My favorite character there was Marvin Martian. Of course, I wanted to go to the moon. I wanted to go to Mars. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was that age, you know? Yeah, Woody Woodpecker. Anybody remember Felix the Cat? The Lone Ranger. Yeah, we watched that. We were watching Zorro back then too. And let's see, there was the A Team and Airwolf and the Incredible Hulk and the $1 Million Man, um, Wonder Woman. A lot of different shows. So this is kind of still high desert out here, where you can see grass and some sagebrush mixed in with the trees, and the trees are kind of scattered a little bit. But the further west we go, the thicker it'll get. Oh yeah, the Bionic Woman. I'm growing up watching Dragnet and Matlock and Perry Mason. I don't know anybody that ever actually watched Murder, She Wrote. I couldn't stand Angela Lansbury. Oh yeah, Battlestar Galactica. I have them all on VHS because we recorded them, and I have I now have the DVD set of the original remastered, and the new series of it, the new reboot of it. I have that all on DVD also. I loved Battlestar Galactica, and there was also Buck Rogers, if you remember him. I never got to watch BJ and the Bear. 5-0. Never watched Dallas. I remember hearing the commercials, and I remember if the TV was on, you'd hear it starting, and then my parents would switch the channel. I do remember that my parents wouldn't watch it; they wanted to watch something else. And I remember what the tune sounded like, their theme song at the opening, but I don't ever remember the show itself. There was Gunsmoke, Little House on the Prairie. Oh my God, I forgot that. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's a MASH. I don't know if there's a single MASH episode out there that I haven't seen, or Star Trek. Those were always, if they were on, that was what was on TV at my house, if it was being aired at the time. My dad loved MASH and Star Trek. Ah. Yeah, the trees are starting to get a lot thicker and closer together. I'm just surprised I don't see hardly that many fires this year like we did last year. Or what? No, not last year, 2 years ago. Yeah, election year, we had so many fires. And then, a lot of people believe that most of the fires we had here in the Northwest were actually set on purpose that year. Yep, we always watched Gilligan's Island. I remember the minnow and the 3-hour tour. We used to watch the Brady Bunch too. No, Italian princess. We weren't that fancy. I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere. We got a total of 3 TVs. That was it. We didn't have cable. We didn't have satellite. Actually, I think we had a little more than 3. At first, we only had, when I was little, we only had like 3 stations. We had PBS, and we had ABC and NBC. Maybe we had CBS. CBS would come and go, I think, at the time. It depended on how well their broadcasting was that day. It kind of like, more like depended on the weather. Um, but then just, you know, a little bit later, Fox Fox TV became a thing, and that one got added in. So we ended up with ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, and PBS, or public broadcasting. That was the only stations we had. Till I was in my teenage years. When I was in my teenage years, then we ended up, we got a satellite, and we got kind of exposed to a whole new box junk and be these days, right? Yeah, you might have been the first family to get cable. I think back in the day, my family had a color television in the town, but the satellite and everything else. I know we had this gigantic satellite in the had on a free trial, and it was a gigantic satellite dish. But he after the said it wasn't worth it. You know, I don't know what he was paying for, what he would have had to pay for it at the time, but it was a lot different back then. Technology's come a long way. The TV changed. I remember having to change the TV by turning a dial. And back then, like I said, sometimes we were the remote. Sometimes we were the antenna. The rabbit ears. Oh yeah, I remember having to move my position where I was so that we could get a better signal on the TV. It all had to do with wherever I was sitting. Yep. Next one. Oh yeah, the original. Horrible. Hello, Hugh. I don't know if you guys are hearing me very well. My screen's telling me I have an unstable transmission at the moment. In the middle of a big town, and I've got an unstable transmission. Makes a lot of sense, right? Going to McMinnville, Oregon. And this load is a bit heavy. Yeah, maybe one of these days they'll actually figure out how to signal throughout the gorge. Looks. Are you guys still there? Am I? My Twitch just reset. See, I really wanted. I wanted to be at that they had over in Oklahoma. I wanted, but with what's going on, got the parts finally came in sitting over here at my dad's place. I really didn't have a choice. But I wanted to be there. I'm glad it was a good turnout. I'm glad they had some good speakers. And I'm glad. I just wish I could have been there. Yep, I get it. We're all in and out on YouTube. It's in and out, and that's the story of this whole stretch between here and Portland. You know, it's going to be like that. And it's only the last couple of years where you could actually finally hold a phone call all the way through, let alone be able to live stream. Hi, Diane. Yep, that's right. And the sad thing about Multnomah Falls is now, at least on the weekends, as far as I know, at least on the weekends, in order to go to Multnomah Falls, you need a permit now. Because before they started instituting the permits on weekends, before they started making people buy them, the traffic would be backed up on the highway all the way from Multnomah Falls into Portland, because they just don't have the room for the amount of people that are coming to see it. Yeah, Multnomah Falls is very pretty. I remember back in the day being able to walk behind the falls. You could actually walk around behind the waterfall and sit behind it. Matter of fact, even if you go there now, you can look down and you can see where the old school trail used to be that went around behind the fall. But of course, we're not allowed that close to it anymore. Yeah, you have to reserve a time to go down the old highway to get there, but you also have to have a permit just to be able to park at the parking place that's in between the highway. You know, you'll see it when we get up there. There's between east and westbound 84. There's a big parking area. Well, not so big. Um, there's only so many spots, and on the weekends, that's always so crammed full they can't put another car in there, and that's why traffic would be backed up all the way to Portland for hours, hours and hours. So they had to do something about it, and they came up with the permit thing, which actually that deters a lot of people from ever going and seeing it, because that permit's not even cheap. It's not cheap at all. Oh yeah, yep. See, when I got out of the Army, I got out of basic training in AIT back in the day, and I took 2 weeks leave and came home before I went to my duty station. And we came down here. We went out. We actually went out to the coast, but on that trip, we spent a night camping above the falls. We hiked all the way up there with all our gear. You know, put up the tents, camped up there for the night, and then came back down the next morning. And believe it or not, if you hike far enough up there, stay closed. Thank you. Yeah, there's love how it keeps giving me poor signal reception. Poor signal reception. There's a place up above when you go further up the river from the falls up the mountain. There's a place called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's a big bowl. It's deep, so you can actually stand on the cliffs and dive in. Used to love going up there and going swimming, spending a weekend up there. Yeah, congratulations. See this road that's kind of like raised up, looks like it's on a bridge. It's not even a road. They spent billions of dollars over the last few years, and I've only ever seen a handful of people on it. Yep. now we're going to be, I think the next town is actually Cascade Locks. A couple of years ago, I got a ticket on the eastbound side. I got an overweight ticket there because I picked up at a nursery, all the plants and trees and things like that. I picked up there and I picked up the load, and they get done loading me, and the guy comes out and says, "Well, you got a lot of room left on the trailer. We got these 5 or 6 trees here that we'd like to put on you." And I'm like, "All right, well, how much does the load weigh right now?" The load only weighed like 5,000 pounds. So they go and they put 14 trees on the truck, right? Turned out I was 24,000 pounds over total gross. So I hit that scale. Instead of 80,000 pounds or less, I was right around. I was right around 114,000 pounds. That was a big ticket. Very costly. Wow. Oh, that's right. We got the Pirate Festival coming up. I think this next weekend is the Pirate Festival. So they got this thing that they're hauling up here. They're taking it there. Yep, looks like a small pirate ship. Yeah, the dirt balls on the trees do weigh a lot more than I thought. I see people leaving a lot. I wonder if I'm still live. Am I still live? Can you still hear me? Wonder if I lost my signal through there and didn't get notified. Welcome to Oregon. With anything unless you're actually a semi truck. All right, thank you guys. Yeah, this is Cascade Locks. Um, Now the judge. So I had to come back when I took it to court. You know, I had to have a court hearing because I couldn't just pay the ticket. I had to go to court, right? So the judge was really nice, man. The judge here was really nice. He knew what was going on. He understood the situation, and he gave me a massive discount on that on the fine for being overweight. But the judge here, he was real nice. So, yeah, don't do it, buddy, because I'm right here. I hate when people pass you and then they slow down and then try to get back in front of you. Like, oh, why couldn't you just stay doing the same speed you were doing to begin with? Right? And here he goes. Now watch, he's going to slow down, and I'm going to end up right up against him again. Oh, now he thinks he's going to speed up. It's all right. Thank you. Don't pass a book in front of him lower than a speed that he was already doing. And some people just never get it, I don't think. It makes no sense. You got to pass a semi truck and get back in front of him and slow down to less than what the semi truck was doing. That makes no sense. Why didn't you just stay back there? Used to catch a lot of sturgeon off this dam. That, and there are a lot of bald eagles out here down off this island that's in the middle on the other side of on the lower side of the dam. Now they got a really nice information center on there. There's a real nice information center and everything that you can tour around on that dam there, the Dallas Dam. Or no, this is Cascade Locks. Um, they've got these couple of fish tanks there that are huge, and they've got a couple of sturgeon in there that are between 16 and 20 foot long. Really, really big fish. And they've got a bunch of trout ponds, salmon ponds, a lot of stuff you can see there. You can take tours of the turbines for the high place to go and I don't know. I don't know if I'm still here. I dropped. So many people dropped off. Man, hello, adorable. Ainsworth State Park, yep. Been a while since I was there. I haven't been fishing off of Ainsworth since I was, what 20, 22, 23 years ago. Alright. Well, at least I'm not buffering now. Yeah, I only see 3 or 4. That's alright though. At least you're getting to see some good scenery. Regardless of all this traffic. I'd love to know where all this traffic came from. Because none of them passed me earlier today. None of them. Except this 2 pickups up here, you know? Where did all these people just suddenly come from? There we go. Now I got a good enough spot to get back over. Eesh. You know, because they decided to ignore my turn signal and keep on going instead of just letting me over, goes to show you I'm still right here with them. It's not like I was going to slow them down any. Only thing they truly did was make me burn twice the amount of fuel to get around that other truck. That's it. They cost me money is what they did. And here's Multnomah Falls. I don't know if I can get it to look at it. Yeah. No. My mount is not going to let me do it. But this little parking area over here to the left, That's it. That's all there is. And even now, this is Sunday, and it's most of the way through the day, and there's not a place to park in there. Bunch of people swimming over there. I had to give them the horn. Yeah, Dalton Point. I remember that. Ah, hi U-Haul. How are you? Hey, the windshield is clean for the most part. There's like one bug off on the far right of what you can see, like right there that got smeared. But the windshield is mostly clean. I just can't seem to get, because we're headed straight at the we're headed kind of straight at the sun, and so all of those tiny little pits from years of driving and being in windstorms and everything else, all them tiny little pits you see, it's making them really show up on the video. Oh, come on, why are you going so slow? The windshield's clean. U-Haul, the windshield is clean. It doesn't get any cleaner than that besides that one bug that's there. Because I literally just stopped and cleaned it before I started this live stream. It's just a very old windshield that's pitted. It's got pitting in it. Oh, I have bull snot. It don't make any difference. The windshield never really gets any better than that. At least not on this one. I need a new windshield. That's all. This windshield is down the road.